Hi, Dr. Mike here for my Introduction to Computer Forensics, my CIS-2808 course. This is topic 13 at the time of this recording, and it is on web browser forensics. So probably one of the mainstays of most investigations you would think is, and this is a web browser. In fact, the web browser really is one of the primary tools, if you think about it, that's used for almost any computer system. Everything from a Chromebook, which is really Chrome OS, is just really a browser OS. Linux, Windows, Mac. I mean, our main tool really is a browser. So browser forensics is definitely a very cornerstone of forensics itself. So if you watch any of those Dateline shows or Prime, things like that, the suspects system, they found browser history showing this and this. Um, so this is part of our current, this is a digital forensics with open source tools. Currently, of course, we're in chapter 7, Internet Artifacts. So we'll be hearing a lot, of course. We've already been here for mail artifacts. Now we're in here for the section on browser artifacts. Again, I'm not going to read you the chapter. It's a pretty nice, quick, just how-to. It's going to talk about Internet Explorer, which is on the outs. So just FYI, it doesn't mean it's not around. In fact, I've done pen testing not too recently that it was the agency used Internet Explorer for their internal network for certain, I don't know what they were, certain apps, internal apps use Internet Explorer IE9 or IE11, I'm sorry, IE11. So it's still out there. So there's that, Internet Explorer, cookies, cache, and so on. Firefox, though, and Chrome are going to be the two we want to look at. The NetLab, which is time of this recording, is Lab 9. Web Browser Forensics is going to have you look at Microsoft Firefox, Microsoft Firefox, oh my god, Mozilla Firefox, and Chrome. So I'm not going to go over those too in depth. I just want to show you how I would go in and look at an image and find it. So this is going to take you through the same steps that I'm really going to use in my test here. So I do want to bring up is Windows 10 Edge. So Edge, since we see Edge being the new browser pushed by Microsoft, and actually runs on Mac, on Linux, it runs on almost a lot of different platforms now. So because it's Chromium based, so it's going to have the same Chrome feel. It's a quick snapshot here. This is a quick snapshot of my Windows 10 VM. And you can look at the different documentation. You can find guides. Typically, it's on the users directory, the username. There's app data, local, Microsoft Edge. So user data. Then there's default cache. So lots of other tools. There are ways to extract this. There'll be tools to help you extract this itself. So you can see that's a quick snapshot of that. And some of those tools will help you, of course, Dumpzilla, which is really good for Microsoft, for Mozilla, Firefox, and this example here. So this is one of many tools, and the chapter has some tools to also to help you extract this. And even a lot of the major tools, Encase, for example, things like that, especially commercial tools, definitely have browser plugins, tools that go in and find browser, cache, bookmarks, type searches, history, all that stuff. So cookies. So there's a lot of information packed in there in your web browser itself, more than just history. So, but again, Dumpzilla's example. This is on the Kali's tool page. Again, so just consider Edge. It's not mentioned in the text. Think of that in place of Internet Explorer. That's a possible replacement. And think of that as Internet Explorer is still around. It's possible to still be around. And it does hold some of the same constructs. The new Edge uses some of the same constructs, username, app data local, so on. So, but it is Chromium based, so you can see more of a Chromium based backend. So I will see that with like Sqlite database used for a lot of the history, for example. So again, I won't go through all this here. Definitely caches, Firefox, session data, and so on. in Chrome. And don't forget about extensions, which is actually a nice section here. You can be doing a forensics case where it's not about finding did the suspect type how to do murder, without getting caught in a web browser, which would be the first thing you don't do. But in case, no, it could be you're looking at malware. It could be looking at a hack happened, and it can happen through an improper extension. It was a tainted extension. So gathering information about the extensions is very important. So there's some good information about that there too. So keep that in mind. And Safari, being the main browser that's used with Mac, so where its cache information is at, and so on. So that really, it's a good just roundabout chapter. It really gives you just the pinpoints of where to look. Again, there's a lot of tools to help you with that. Not just Dumpzilla, but a lot of other tools out there. All right, so again, at the time of this recording, there's a net lab, and there's actually a offline lab where you're going to look at a Sqlite DB file and try to gather information and answer these questions here. So in case, let's actually look at a quick snapshot and just show you how it might work. So as you've seen before, this is a image. I'm using DEFT, and this is Digital Forensics Framework, DFF. I've attached the images for a bootable thumb drive, which is Ubuntu. So we know home, Ubuntu, being the main user directory, or home username. So understanding where the user home directory is, if it's on Windows, if it's on Mac or Linux, it could definitely be valuable because that's where a lot of that cache information is held. So here we can see home Ubuntu. Here's Firefox, and then we have this strange YAW. This is, I'm not sure how this stamp's created, but it's something .default. And there we have the actual cache, bookmarks, and so on. So just looking at them straightforward here, the key you're looking for is Sqlite files. So there we go. All right, so I just did a quick regular expression search here using DEFT. There's a lot of stuff here, and I'm not going to get into, again, the books talk about how to get into cache, and there's tools to extract cache. But I want to show you these Sqlite files we see a lot with a lot of modern browsers now. Cookies, search histories, and places. So you can see there's a size for this file, so it has been used. File information is over here on the side itself. I'm going to go and extract this file. I'm going to go and put it in the guide amount, evidence. I'll just choose that, hit OK. The task manager. All right, extracted one file. Again, you can look at an ASCII viewer. It's really is text, since it is a database file, and but the best way to look at these files is to extract them. And here it is right here. And use a database browser. In this case, Sqlite database browser. This tool comes on in all flavors. There's a Sqlite browser for Mac, for Linux. Very simple standalone tool. You can open these .sqlite files individually. So we don't want to look at the structure, but you can look at there's bookmarks, input. You can see the structure of the tables in this, but really we want to browse the data. And we want to look at, you can see we have places, and there we go. So we can see where someone's been, the title of the page, and so on. Again, you can run queries if you like, if you're looking for specific, there's sec.gov and so on. The title itself. So again, you can query the title, you can query the URL. If you go with SQL, you can write a quick SQL query. And the good thing is there's a lot of tools. We'll actually go through these and sort of summarize where someone's been the most. So we'll give you a URL list. DEFT, DFF here, I think does that, may do that. I won't go through that itself, but a lot of tools will actually go through. I know Autopsy will go through and actually sort of summarize where the most visits been by URL. So in any case, that's really it. It's just want to give you a quick look at that. Again, you can execute SQL here if you knew your SQL strings. Bookmarks. Bookmarks is an odd one. But there you go. You can use the title of the bookmarks to see what people have bookmarked. Input histories. I think there's a different table, different actual SQLite file for that. But again, places is going to be where you want to look at. So this is a quick example of how you might extract a SQLite file using from an image, from a copy, a forensic copy of the original image. Don't forget that. You never want to actually do this on the original image itself. Now there is some other stuff here too. We have the cache. So you can see here, and in the same directory, just went to the cache folder, and we can see there is, you have things you can look at. This example, we actually look at images. So this is just typical browser cache. Not all these files are going to be readable. Some are just going to be blobs, but example, this one right here, I sent this to Cat, the web viewer. Or you can see here in raw text, it's just basically, it is the web page I was visited. So you can use your right click and you can do open with a web viewer in this case. And it sort of reconstructs a real basic web page itself. You can see the images, of course, are missing. So that's the same page. So we can reconstruct the pages that were visited. There's some stuff in cache that is going to be hard to reconstruct. Some of it might just be code chunks, things like that. So not everything here is going to be friendly. And the preview panel will help with that. I believe something like, let's say, like these cache files. Yeah, see, I don't know what this is. This looks like it might be some stuff. There's ASCII inside there. Some of this could be caches of HTML5 code, wherever. Again, you see an image here. So you can still extract this and look at them. Again, a browser extraction tool is really going to help you with this part. But later on down here, as you look at some of these things are going to be, the preview panels can help you distinguish. This case is a image. As we saw down here, some of these are just straight on text. So they can be simply viewed in a preview panel and reconstructed with the web viewer. So there you go. So that's really it. I just want to show you how you might go about. Again, the lab's going to walk you through this. Same thing. It's actually going to walk you through more of the SQLite files, looking at specific items in there. So definitely use the lab for that. Otherwise, it's just a quick tour how you might pull, in this case, Mozilla history from a suspect's image using DFF on Deft. And that really is it. Just a quick look at browser forensics. Thank you.